I came across over 3 years of one of my ancient pedigrees books, which was done in 1815, and that got me interested into the Walsingham one in Norfolk.
Right. Okay.
Who was actually the spymaster for Elizabeth I, and basically we looked at Walsingham's the basics of Walsingham's big house in Footscray, and eventually found out that he was, he had quite a few bits and pieces of people living in Footscray, but it was that time that got me on to having a look at the pedigree book, and I actually found that I went into the place up in London when it was originally, and you had all the birth dates and marriages, and I started filling them all out, and came across the earliest ones were a George Ackworth and a William Ackworth. William Ackworth was part of the High Treason of 1461, when Henry VII actually decided to fight them and actually won.
And so you followed the family tree down, and you've got as far as the Waldegraves, which is why you're here, isn't it? Yeah. And we're just standing by the grave of Edward Waldegrave.
Yes. The son of William was John.
Right.
The son of John was George.
Yep.
And one of his earliest daughters was Joan. And it was Joan whose mother was the cousin of the Boleyns and the Howards.
Right.
And it's through them that when her mother died, she had a lot of money given to her, and Joan Ackworth actually married William Bulmer, who was basically a son of one of the Bulmers who owned land up in Yorkshire.
Right.
Like the Ackworths did.
Yep.
And through that lot, as well as the Wilberforces, she actually married William Bulmer, but we think there was one daughter that was there, but we don't actually know where she is or what her name was. But she basically divorced William Bulmer and got all her money of her land back from her mother's one that he'd taken off her originally. Right. And when she was 20, she was actually given a point at the Howard's mother in the somewhere in the Lambeth Palace, and she taught Catherine Howard how to write, because Catherine Howard was unable to read as well as write.
Right.
So she was doing all the letters that Catherine Howard wanted to pass on to her.
She was unable to do them herself.
Unable to do it herself.
So someone was writing on her behalf.
Writing on her behalf, and going to all the young lads in the palace. And
those royals never knowing how to behave to them.
And basically, when Catherine Howard married Henry VIII, he actually found out that she had how can I say, places.
Dalliance, maybe?
Had places where she had actually been with the other sons around.
Right.
But sons that were in William's house and in the Howard house were all cousins of Henry VIII.
Right.
So he basically knew that she was a youngster.
Right, so this is your heritage, and this is your family tree going back again. And one of the reasons you're here in Lawford Church is because of this grave here, which is Edward Waldegrave.
It was Waldegrave's place.
Right, and one of the reasons you wanted to see this was kind of proof that that they existed. Yeah. The family tree was actually true, and people wanted to be buried inside of churches. These days, it's unusual for anyone to be buried inside a church. People don't understand why people would want to do that, but actually, one of the reasons we know that this was a wealthy family is because they're buried here.
Her grandfather, John, was buried in Lewisham Church.
Right.
And the actual stonework actually has his name as Ackworth. There was no K in the name.
So that's changed over the years.
Yes, that changed over the years. If you go back back to the Doomsday Book, it's Ackworth.
Oh, right, okay, it really has changed.
Yeah, it
really has changed over the years.
Yes. So over the course of the years, it's changed. One of the people or artists in 1620, who was drawing a lot of maps of all the counties, had the actual name of the place, Ackworth, as it should have been.
Right.
And there was never any K in it. And that's why, basically, over the course of time, we've always had problems with people writing a K after a C.
Yeah.
Even my cousin.
Even your own family now?
Yeah.
Getting it. Well, is it wrong or is it...
It's wrong.
They're both spelling it differently. Yes. Well, that's cool.
It's wrong.
Excellent. Well, now we know we've seen this. We've seen this. Yeah. We know they're buried here. And that puts you in a much better place of knowing the history that you were looking for.
Yeah. Yes. We know that Edward's buried here. We know that his son's buried here.
Yep.
Whatever happened to Joan is shown on her monument over there.
Yep.
Not as Joan, but I-O-N.
Yes. Different spellings again, like Ackworth. Different spellings
with a K.
Yeah.
So.
Different spellings again.
Both words are wrong.
Well, let's hope that it's right now in the actual genealogy.
Yeah,
that would be good.
As far as shall we say, as far as this lot is concerned, that
the one which is the correct spelling without a K on it.
Without a K in it, and that's on the sides of the Westminster. What do they call it? The big
Westminster Abbey on the side.
Yeah, where all these are up high.
All the coats of arms along the top of the nave, I think. Yeah.
But the problem was, the one who was Duke of Norfolk fiddled it.
As was often the case, again, it's money.
He knocked us out of the route, basically.
So it's reclaiming it as part of the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
Good.
Just going to try and see. Have so many links.
Yes.
Not just to the ones back then, but Diana, Charles' ex-wife, is something like the 18th different, going right through the list. So we're connected with that.
Right. So there's lots and lots of connections.
Lots and lots of all the old ones. So
this is just part of the jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, just part of it.
Yeah.
So
good. Well, hopefully this piece fits nicely.
Yeah. And we are trying to find somebody who would actually get us onto the system.
Right.
We know that a lot of the ones who have looked at it have said, yes, you are connected. And as far as it goes, Worsley, what's her name? One that called Worsley, she's the one of those in Hampton Court who actually said, yes, we are actually connected with them all. So
Well, that's good.
So
that's a good thing.
We're basically trying out with somebody who we can find, who would basically charge us for something, but we know it's going to happen. But it makes us really more British than our present Queen.
But yes, you have a wife. You've got a long history. Absolutely.
So
that's
okay.
Okay. So we're here in Lawford Church, St Mary's Lawford's, standing in front of the grave of Edward Waldegrave, the younger.
The son of.
The son of.
Yes.
And Edward Waldegrave, his father, tell me something about him. He came here in what situation?
We don't really know how much before he came here, but all we know is that the Waldegraves were at Lawford.
In the middle 1500s.
Yes.
So Edward's father and was it Sarah Bingham were released from the Tower? Is that right? Where they'd been held by the king, and when on their release, they came to Lawford, which is where Edward the Younger was born.
They were only released in 1451.
Okay.
But then they came here.
And this is where they lived? They lived locally in...
They lived locally here, in Lawford.
In Lawford Hall?
Must have been.
Okay.
Which is just down the road.
Just only less than a quarter of a mile away from here.
And because they were here, they were out of the way from everybody.
Okay.
And obviously, they had 4 daughters before they had the son.
Right.
And the son was born just before they married again. But
right.
She had been... How can I put it? She had been there with a lot of money from her mother.
Right.
So they were able to basically live properly and be out of the way and have daughters and sons. And at the end of it, all of them married into the, how can I put it, the people who ruled at the time.
Right, okay, the ruling class. And the reason we know they have money is because there are monuments inside the church.
Yes.
And only those who are wealthiest could afford to have a monument put inside a parish church. Yes. So that's how we know there was money.
So the bit on the wall over there, which shows both of them, is correct apart from the names.
Where the names are spelt differently, which is the same.
Yes. So basically, it was due to her mother, who was Margaret Wilberforce, who had the money.
Right.
Because of the estates they had up north.
Yeah. And
that was why she came down this way and had married one of the Ackworths. And he was actually an MP for Buckinghamshire.
Right. And that's the history.
Again,
the history
that's
of your
a lot
family.
of money to do that.
There's a lot of it about.
Yeah. So, yes. So basically, son here would have been, I don't know how old she was, 1621. So 68, 1554 to 1621 shows you he was about 86, something like that.
Right.
Well, maybe less than that. But things change over time. So it's nice to just see where they actually were buried.
Yes.
In this place. And I can now actually add a bit more about this place to my various bits and pieces.
Good. Well, we're glad we can help.
Right. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Aeroplane, mate.
What do you want me to do with that?
Sorry?
Move you forward.
It'll be fine.
Right.
Wait,
Still wait for the aircraft. It's a little bit noisy up there at the moment. Just wait for that aircraft to go.
the loud plane one.
Yeah, just shoot
Is
that.
that a plane?
We need a missile with us, don't we? No, I'm only joking.
I have felt like doing that before.
Right, I think it's gone. Probably landed at Gatwick now. Done.
I've forgotten the name of it.
Right, go on action.
I've forgotten the name of the place now.
We're at Lawford. Lawford. St Mary's. St Mary's, Lawford.
And there is that.
Lawford. Lawford.
Norfolk.
Mary's at Lawford. Yeah.
Norfolk. Right. Right. I've come this way to see St Mary's, where my ancestors Joan Ackworth and Edward Wardegrave were buried.
Shall we run that again? Yeah, we'll just, do that again. And then as soon as you finish, just
Walking.
Yeah,
walk
yeah,
up.
just speak up a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, talking nice, as loud as you can.
Loud, 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 like that.
Like you are in the church.
What?
Nice and loud like you are in the church.
As loud if you want. How
Yeah.
loud do you want?
As loud as you want.
Right, okay. I come this way to see the graves of my ancient Ackworths, Joan Ackworth and Edward Wardegrave, who were buried in the 16th century.
Okay? We'll, go for it.
I come this way to see my ancient relatives of Joan Ackworth and Edward Wardegrave.
That was better, but there's dogs barking in the background now.
What?
So, might just have to do it another time just because those dogs started barking. One more, sorry about this.
It's very short, is it?
Yeah.
We're in practice now.
Right, okay,
Just waiting for you to cross the path, okay? Go for it.
now. I come this way to St Mary's Church at Lawford to see the actual tombs of my earlier people, Joan Ackworth and Edward Wardegrave, back in the 1500s.
Okay, that was good. I think we might have to do that another time.
Yeah.
With earlier people. What do you think really makes sense?
Just say, all you have to say is, I've come to St Mary's Church to see my ancestor Edward Wardegrave, and leave it at that. That's all you need to say. Just say,
Ancestor Joan Lewis.
yeah, just say Joan Bulmer Ackworth's grave sign with Edward Wardegrave and leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah?
Is it
Don't-
find or see?
Done?
Is it find your ancestors? Great.
But, to sit, maybe yeah, and go it. Don't speak up loud.
Okay.
I've come this today to see the graves of my ancestors Joan Ackworth and William Wardegrave.
Oh no, you said William. It's Edward.
What?
You said William. It's Edward.
Did I?
Yes.
Where'd that come from? I don't know, sorry.
Cut. Take 5.
I come this way to St Mary's Church at Lawford to see the graves of my ancestors Joan Ackworth and Edward Wardegrave.